Dear Kitty, this is the imaginary friend to whom Anne Frank wrote her diary while hiding in an Amsterdam attic during World War II. I have just read Anne's diary in 8th grade English. It is 1960. I am 14 years old, and I'm also in hiding in my parents' basement in my own secret attic, under the workbench, cardboard walls, old couch pillow, and a desk lamp. I've taken a school notebook and drilled a hole in it to padlock my secrets, whatever they will be. I write, Dear Kitty, as you have probably guessed by now, Anne Frank is dead. I burst into tears. It is page 1 of my journal, a practice that continues to this day. I am a writer. It is all I have ever wanted to be. Well, there is my cowgirl period. I was 5 years old, red vest, white plastic trim. Sunday afternoon, funny papers on the living room floor. I take a red crayon and I circle every word that I can read. The, and, dog, cat. Daddy, I call out across the living room, what is B-A-R-K? He lowers the news section. Bark like a dog. I circle a new word. In those days, moms stayed home, daddies went to work, and more babies came. We got 3. We're going to get 1 more. I can hardly wait to get to 1st grade, find out if I'm smart. There's no advanced placement. There's no writer in the school's program. There is just 45 kids, the beginning of the boomers hitting the American education system. We are crammed into rows. I love it. I can print. I can read. I am going to learn cursive, and then I will be free. If only I could figure out what to say. And then comes Anne Frank. Story is a map. And the map that gets the first person through gets the next person through. Anne Frank's diary was my first map. A girl has a voice. I have a voice. Hiding from the Nazis is both incredibly tense and boring. So Anne writes. She uses her diary like practicing scales on a piano, and that's what journal writing is like, a practice. We whine into awareness, saying things on the page we won't say anywhere else. But after time, reflecting the self to the self, we learn that language can literally change the mind. And once we've got that alchemy, we are wizards. Turning lead into gold, we become the authors of our life stories. And that is truly magic. If we name it, we can change it. In my lifetime, we have watched the culture move from silence keeping to storytelling. And standing now in this explosion of all story all the time, it's hard to even remember the taboos of the 1950s and 60s. But I remember because I was secretly writing. I am a writer. It's all I ever wanted to be. Well, I did want to be Secretary General of the UN. I entered college as a political science major so I could work for UNICEF, save starving children, be a leader for world peace. Macalester College, 1964, there's only one other girl in my poli-sci classes. She gets to be Attorney General of the state, but never governor. No one calls on us in class. Sophomore year, I ace advanced Shakespeare. Dr. Hunter, the head of the department, comes to me and says, "You have potential." I changed majors. 1967, I am protesting against the war in Vietnam, marching in Washington, D.C. Dr. Hunter comes to me and says, "You'll make a great English professor." I look at him shocked. I can't go to graduate school. There is a war on. I am nothing to this man after that. I don't understand what happened. What did I say no to when I said yes? I am a writer. I am an activist. My life splits open. These are interesting times. When we are in chaos, we need story to imagine the next steps forward. The more we are in chaos, the more we need story. 1970, I'm in Europe with a young faculty couple and their 2 daughters. I have nothing to read. So I write voraciously in my journal, areograms home. I make cassettes of our little adventures that my mother keeps the rest of her life, though the machine to play them is long gone. One day in Paris at Shakespeare and Company, I find a copy of the Diary of Anais Nin. Whoa, a world opens up in my mind. The journal can be an experiment in risk-taking, in exploring the inner life, in recording your love affairs. Unlike Anais, I don't have affairs with avant-garde writers, but I do get a second map, that writing is a message from the private self to the world. And after that, I want to stay in Europe and be exotic, but I haven't got the courage, so I come home and choose a different life. I am a writer. It's all I've ever wanted to be. Well, then we moved to Whidbey Island. 1994, my beloved Anne Linnea and I wash ashore with her 2 children, no income but child support, 2 unfinished book manuscripts on calling the circle and kayaking Lake Superior, and a big idea that we can help change the world by creating safe spaces for people to be in dialogue and story. 1 year later, both books have sold, and we have launched a global conversation movement that takes us off the island and around the world, training thousands of people in circle practice. The journal comes with me during those times. On the 30,000-mile high flights to the East Coast, to Canada, to Europe, to Africa, to Australia, I write out a perspective and storyline of these years. And a third map comes. Story is the power in people. Story is our power. We are pollinators in the story field. That is our legacy. I am a writer. It is all I have ever wanted to be. And finally, I am home and I am writing. Mornings, hot cup of tea, email off until noon. I spend half an hour writing in my journal and 3 hours typing. Well, we do have 2 grandchildren in LA, 1 more trip to Europe, community service, and long patient friends. And best of all, I have this time now with my father, Leo, the storyteller, who filled my childhood with tall tales and jokes and family history and discussions of social issues over the dinner table. He is the model for all those years of public service. And here we are, marooned in this beautiful community, in these raining golden days. I am 70, he is 96, he's in row B. We have come a long way. I am a writer, and I am writing, and I have taken up the sacred task of harvesting the life and times that influenced my grandfather, my father, and me. I am writing with the fervent prayer that they then can help us now find the story map through dangerous times. The world needs both action and reflection. I am an activist, passionate, urgent, and I spend my mornings spinning tales of Montana settlers, their Blackfeet neighbors, and their determination to live by their moral codes. Page by page, my characters find their way and help me believe that day by day we will find our way. Story is the power in people. The past has a voice. We have a voice, and I am a writer. It is all I ever wanted to be. Thank you.